Did you feel it? There was a mysterious boom felt around the county this morning, shaking windows, and of course, it has a lot of people talking. It happened before 8:30, and it didn't take long for the comments to start filling up our NBCSanDiego Facebook page. Of course, people were asking if there was an earthquake and leaving comments about what they felt and heard. So now the big question is, what was it? San Diego State Professor Emeritus Pat Abbott is here to try to explain. Now, you and I were just talking. You said you felt it this
most
morning.
Definitely, yes.
What was your first reaction as to what it may be?
Well, my first reaction is I looked to the ground. I looked at the chandelier in the house to see if it's the ground that's moving, and no action there. Something happened in the atmosphere. Then I go outside in case I can see something. I can't. But then it was so widespread throughout. Something happened in the atmosphere that was, distributed widely.
So how does that make what people felt, like the shaking and the rattling with the windows?
Well, it's that boom, when an earthquake will do that too. It'll make your house and shake and your windows shake and all of that, but it makes everything shake, where something in the atmosphere doesn't affect the ground or the other parts. So this is the kind of a thing, maybe this weather system coming, maybe putting a little bit of a lid to help something noise hit it and reflect down. Most likely it's a squad of planes flying by, and there was that collective sonic boom, channeled to us. We get one of these kinds of big, widespread, mysterious booms maybe once a year or so, and that's something happened in the atmosphere. The most liable thing, likely, is a fleet of planes.
A fleet of planes. Now, can you tell me how would this have been different if it were an earthquake? I haven't experienced an earthquake, but I'm sure most people here know the difference.
Well, we'll arrange one for you here pretty soon here. But with earthquakes, you can hear earthquakes if you are near the epicenter. For people who have been in San Diego a long time, like say the mid-1980s, they'll remember the faults going across Coronado and Silver Strand moved in some magnitude 4 earthquakes. And the P waves, they move like this, like slinky toys. They're sound waves. So for those, when you're right on the epicenter, those P waves will come out of the ground and you literally get to hear the earthquake if you're right over the epicenter. But we didn't have an earthquake underneath San Diego this morning, right. So that wasn't the cause.
All right. Well, thank you so much for filling us in on what it may be. We appreciate you being here. And now we're going to turn things over to Jody. And Jody, you kind of have, I guess, the same suspicions of what this may have been, too, when it came to the military planes and stuff, right?
Absolutely. Well, he brought up, could be a flight pattern. Let's talk about real quick what it wasn't, okay? When we heard of the boom, instantly I thought thunder and lightning are in our forecast, but I didn't expect there to be any so soon if it was. So what I did was I rewound my radar to before 9 o'clock when we started hearing reports of this sound, and the nearest rain was well offshore. In fact, I put the measurement on it, and it was 26 miles offshore. There was no thunder or lightning associated with this, and even if there had been, the sound waves and the field would not have made it to us. It only travels about 10 miles. So we know it wasn't thunder and lightning. But as Professor Abbott brought up, could it have been a flight pattern? Well, let's talk about military chaff. You may or may not have heard of this. Now, chaff is something that the aircraft are equipped with. It's a spray that they put out in the atmosphere to confuse ground radars. It's a protection against, say, the radar-guided missiles, okay? So when they're flying these test patterns, they'll chaff the sky, and it shows up on radars. Now, I was looking at my radar wondering, could it have been a flight pattern? Well, here's what happened. I called the National Weather Service, and something interesting here. They confirmed that this right here, this and this are not rain. That was not rain on our radar. So this is not rain. What is it? Could it have been chaff? Well, we may never know. But as a meteorologist, I know that bugs and birds can also cause it. I don't think that was it because it's sort of in a straight line. So that leads me to believe that it could have been a flight pattern. Like I said, we may never know. And I don't know